You don't want to be famous? You want to be famous? Ah! Hi guys! Today we're going to be talking about a topic that is really important to me, and that is responsible pet ownership. And specifically, I want to talk about things like declawing and tail docking and like the ear clipping that people do for their dogs. This is going to be a controversial video, so if you want to click away now and just come back when I'm talking about like eyeshadow or highlighter, that's totally cool. But like I said, I'm very passionate about this. So let's get into it, and if you want to hate on me, you can put it in the comments. I watched a really great documentary a few years ago called The Paw Project, and I believe it's still on Netflix if you want to look it up. I think it's also just on YouTube for free, so go and watch it because I found it really, really powerful. A lot of the documentary focuses specifically on animals who are in entertainment. So these are the animal performers who are in like big budget Hollywood films, for example. They don't just take any old like lion from a zoo. There's specific animals who are trained to work on movie sets, which I have a whole bunch of other opinions on, but that is for another ranty video. But the movie goes on to describe how all of these cats are declawed, and it is the same procedure as, you know, a house cat that you might have. And that is actually the amputation of the first bone from their paws. So just like our hands, an amputation of the first knuckle would be like right here, this first knuckle that bends. It's like taking that whole bone off. So it's really an amputation. A lot of these performer cats had to be declawed for safety because you have a freaking lion on your movie set, and like that's not natural. And of course these cats are going to be frightened and stressed, so they remove their claws for safety instead of, I don't know, maybe not putting wild animals on movie sets. And lots of these performer cats ended up with really bad arthritis and other issues with their joints in their, you know, in their hips, their cat hips or shoulders and elbows, and of course their paws. It turns out lots of house cats suffer from these ailments as well once they've been declawed, and the movie kind of goes into the fight to ban declawing. As you can probably guess, since this is a cruelty-free channel, I don't agree with declawing. I think declawing is tantamount to mutilation, and I definitely think it's animal cruelty. And you might be like,
whoa, Cassia, you're not a vet. How do you have any opinion on this? If vets are willing to do it, it must be okay.
And that is a completely fair thing to bring up. However, lots of vets are not willing to declaw. Actually, declawing is banned in tons of countries. Mostly all of Europe is against declawing. Australia, a couple of cities in the US have banned declawing, and in Canada, our first province to ban declawing was Nova Scotia, and that just happened this year. But basically, everyone in the world doesn't really agree with declawing except for North America, and they're all looking over at us being like, WTF, why do you hate cats? People are worried about cats destroying their furniture, bedposts, drapery, and all that kind of stuff with their kind of natural clawing tendencies. But notice I said natural tendencies. Cats are built to scratch things. It is an innate part of them. Scratching things is part of being a cat. Declawing also causes permanent changes in the physiology of the cat, which can lead to things like arthritis, as I mentioned. You might also be thinking,
but if those people who are worried about their furniture don't declaw the cat, they might just end up surrendering the cat to a shelter, and shelters are already overflowing with animals.
That is a fair and legitimate concern. Of course, I want to see less animals in shelters. But it's important to note that lots of cats who are declawed then have issues with using the litter box because it's kind of painful without the end of their toe, and other ones can become slightly more aggressive. Nails are their first line of defense. Scratching is their first instinct when they are threatened, but cats who don't have their claws anymore tend to get more bitey. Of course, if a cat bites someone, particularly a child, that can be a reason it is given up for adoption. So declawing doesn't always fix the issue of surrender. Sometimes it creates additional reasons they might be surrendered. Another argument I hear a lot is,
my friends declawed their cat and the cat doesn't have arthritis and it seems perfectly fine.
Those cats might be okay as far as you can tell. But one, cats don't really show a lot of emotion. They can't smile. We can't really interpret their facial features the same way we do, you know, humans. So we can't really tell if they are in mild pain or discomfort, or if they're just kind of, you know, upset about losing a piece of their body without being able to consent. Furthermore, there's no way around it that after the initial surgery, even if there's no far-reaching effects, they are in pain. They have to be on painkillers, they're heavily bandaged, like it does cause them pain even if it's not ongoing pain. And because there's no benefit to the cat in terms of declawing, is it really fair to put them through any amount of pain? And related to that, my third point would be that cats can't consent. They are sentient beings who have feelings and their own life and their own motivations, but they don't have a voice. Therefore, if we're going to make a choice for them, I feel that the benefit has to heavily outweigh the risk. For example, my cats are spayed and neutered, which of course wasn't their choice and of course caused them pain. But I had to make that choice because in order for us to keep them and give them a home, they needed to not mate with each other because that would be even more kittens going into the shelter system, and we need to prevent that. Also, one of my cats has a chipped tooth. At the moment, our vet said it doesn't need to be pulled, but it eventually probably will need to be once the nerve of the tooth starts getting exposed. Obviously, little Peanut can't consent to that, but we're going to have to pull the tooth eventually to stop her from getting tooth decay, more pain along the nerve of the tooth, and it can actually cause sinus infections. The benefits to Peanut herself outweigh the cons. In declawing, there's no benefit for the cat. It's non-therapeutic. The only benefit is to your furniture. So you might be asking,
okay, well, if declawing's not okay, how do I keep my cat from scratching things?
Number one, your cat should be scratching things, and those things should be scratching posts that you provide. So make sure that there's lots around the house, and my cats actually have different preferences. Toaster likes a kind of horizontal incline scratcher, where Peanut likes like the straight up and down, like pole kind of scratchers. The second thing is that training is really, really important. Of course, this is easier if you get your cat as a kitten, but you can train a new cat in your house as well. Consistency is just really important. Thirdly, and this is the tip that I live by, my cats do scratch their scratching posts, but I also don't really give a shit about my couch. Like, it's a couch. The corners are kind of scratched up. I love my cats more than I love my couch. However, if I was really concerned, I would invest in soft paws. A, because they're frickin' adorable, and B, because they just seem really smart and easy. And these are little silicone caps that kind of go over their paw and give them like a pretty manicure in whatever color you want, but also prevent them from like being able to actually damage your furniture. Now, of course, I'm a cat owner, so I care a lot about declawing, but there are some other procedures that are also non-therapeutic, like tail docking and I don't think it's called ear pinning. I feel like ear pinning is what you do on a human child. But you know how like Doberman's ears point straight up? Yeah, that's not natural. Humans like cut the flaps off their ears and like bandage them up a certain way to get them to point like that. The same with tail docking. That's literally removing their tail. And that's not for any benefit other than looks. That's like cosmetic surgery for your dog. So I'm opposed to all of that, but I'm fighting really, really hard to get specifically declawing banned in the province I live in. And the Paw Project, the documentary I was telling you about, is what inspired me to try to make change in that area. So down below in the description, I will link the Paw Project link so you can go watch the documentary yourself. I'm gonna link a couple other YouTube videos that I watched that I thought were really helpful. And I'm gonna link a completely unbiased video that is not for or against declawing, so you can get a really balanced view. I hope you guys enjoyed this ranty little video of mine. This is, like I said, something I'm really passionate about, so sorry if I got a little, ranty. But I just wanted to give you a little more insight into what makes me me, because I don't just put on cruelty-free makeup all day. I have other interests. If you have any other questions, either about me or about declawing, please let me know. Put them in the comments below and I'll meet you guys down there. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you hit subscribe and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye! Mwah! Oh, it's Toast. Oh, hello, Toast.